Thank you for purchasing this video. We hope it will help you and your entire family get the most from using the Internet with your WebTV. We think you'll find that using the Internet with your WebTV will quickly become an important part of your life. Just what can you do with WebTV and the Internet? Well, you can use your WebTV to send instant electronic mail messages to your friends, family members, and other people you meet all over the Internet. And you can send WebTV email around the country, or in fact around the world, just for the price of your connection to the WebTV service. You can use WebTV and the Internet to get the latest news from conventional and not so conventional sources. You can tap online information on your favorite TV shows and search for information on any subject that interests you. The Internet is also a wonderful online homework helper and educational resource for your children, too. We'll show you where the Internet's best and most popular websites are, and how you can get to them quickly using your WebTV.
From ABC News.
You can use your WebTV to tap the Internet's cutting-edge multimedia capabilities, like interactive video and audio services that you can tap whenever you want to see and hear them, and not just when they're broadcast on regular TV. You can get into fascinating, thought-provoking, and fun online discussions with thousands of Internet users on the net's online discussion newsgroups and in the chat rooms. We'll show you how to do that, too. You can tap the Internet to shop online and get the best prices on just about anything you'd like to buy. We'll show you how and where you can safely purchase items online using your WebTV. In this video, we'll be covering all of the important things you'll need to know to get the most from using your WebTV and the Internet. We've organized this video into 5 sections that take you through each of the key aspects of using your WebTV to help you tap the Internet. In the first section of this video, we cover the basics of setting up your WebTV and your connection to the WebTV service right out of the box. In the next section, we cover the basics of using your WebTV plus some simple steps for navigating around the Internet with your WebTV keyboard and your WebTV remote. Next, we'll show you how to access, read, send, and receive Internet electronic mail on your WebTV. In the next hour-long segment of this video, we'll tell you all you need to know to find and reach your favorite websites on the Internet with your WebTV. Plus, we'll take you on a video tour of nearly 30 of the web's most popular sites for you and your entire family. We'll also show you how to quickly and easily access websites from Jump City, the companion website for this video, and our printed guidebook, What's on the Web. And in the final section of our video, we'll show you how to use the Internet's popular online discussion news groups and chat services where you can talk online with literally millions of other Internet users just like you. This video has been recorded from actual online sessions with WebTV, and throughout this video, we include pop-up video windows that show you what key to press on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to move to the next step in the tutorial. We'll also be pointing out key features on the WebTV screen with the small white arrows that you'll be seeing here, and we'll be defining key Internet buzzwords and features and captions at the bottom of the screen. This comprehensive video is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, so don't hesitate to take a break, stop this video at the end of a section, and follow along with us online with your own WebTV unit so that you can try out the same Internet features that we've just covered in the video. And don't worry, the WebTV product and service is very reliable. You won't ever break anything by pressing the wrong button. We're confident that if you follow along with our on-screen examples for using your WebTV and the Internet, you'll end up knowing more about using the Internet than most other WebTV users by the time you reach the end of this video. So let's get started using your WebTV and the Internet. In this section of our video, we're going to take you through the simple steps involved in setting up your WebTV unit and your Internet subscriber account with the WebTV network. WebTV has made it very easy for you to connect to the Internet, as you'll soon see from the step-by-step instructions we'll be giving you here. And we encourage you to be following along with us as we cover each step that's involved in setting up your WebTV. And don't hesitate to stop this video and try each step for yourself as we go. So let's begin. Once you've unpacked your WebTV unit, keyboard, and all the cables and accessories, let's start setting up your WebTV by connecting the cables. First of all, find a spot either on or near your TV set where you'll want your WebTV unit to go. Most people put their Web TV unit right on top of the television set. Next, plug the power cable that came with your Web TV unit into the connector on the back of the Web TV box that's marked ACN. Next, plug a working telephone line into the telephone jack on the back of the Web TV box, just like we've shown here. You don't need any special telephone service or an extra telephone line to use Web TV. You can connect the telephone line you're using now directly into your Web TV unit. And if you're sharing a single phone line with your home telephone service, use the phone line adapter that's supplied with your Web TV unit to run a separate line to your Web TV. If you have call waiting service on your existing telephone line, you can use Web TV to access the internet on a single line, and you won't lose any incoming phone calls on that line either, because Web TV automatically disconnects your internet session whenever it detects an incoming phone call on the same line. Next, you'll want to connect the video cable from either the yellow video connector or the S video connector from the back of your Web TV unit into the corresponding type of connector that's marked Video In on the back of your television set. If your television has S video input, you can tell if the connector looks like this. You'll want to connect your Web TV to the S Video In connector on the back of your television to get the best possible picture quality. Otherwise, use the other video cable supplied with your Web TV unit to connect the yellow Video Out connector to the matching Video In connector on the back of your television set. If you have an older television set that doesn't have either of these connectors, then you'll need to buy an inexpensive RFU adapter from your local electronics store to connect the cables with the yellow and white ends supplied with your Web TV unit to the antenna input on the back of the TV. Next, in order to hear sound from your Web TV unit, connect the white and red cables supplied with your Web TV to the audio outputs that are shown here. If you have a stereo television set, you can connect both the red and white connectors to the two audio in connectors on the back of the TV set. Since your Web TV unit can play back sound in high-quality stereo format, if you have a stereo system with high-fidelity speakers, you might want to connect the audio cables from the back of your Web TV unit to the audio inputs of your stereo receiver or CD player to get the best possible sound quality. If you don't have a stereo television set, connect the white cable to the audio input connector on the back of your TV set. Next, insert the batteries that came with your Web TV unit into the Web TV remote. And if you also purchased the Web TV keyboard, insert batteries into the keyboard also. Next, take one last look at the back of your Web TV unit, making sure that the power cable, the phone line, and your video and audio lines have been securely connected. And check the back of your TV set to make sure the appropriate cables are also properly connected. Next, plug the AC power cord from the back of your Web TV unit into a wall outlet. Now you're ready to sign up for your internet service with Web TV. We'll step you through the process of signing up for the service with Web TV Network now. Signing up with Web TV is easy. You don't have to call anyone to set up the service with Web TV. All you have to do is type in your subscriber and billing information right in the sign-up form that's displayed on your Web TV screen, and you'll be connected to Web TV right away. The Web TV unit also detects the area code that you're calling from and will assign the closest toll-free number for your connection with Web TV. Keep in mind, though, that if you move your Web TV unit from your home to an out-of-town location, make sure to select Moved, the Moved button on the screen, so that your Web TV unit will find another toll-free number to dial and will not be making a long-distance call to the phone number it usually dials from your home. To begin setting up your account, press the oval green TV button on the top of your Web TV remote to turn your television set on. Then, if you've connected your Web TV by either using the S-Video or RCA-style connectors, press the black oval TV video button at the top of the Web TV unit to switch your television set to Video In. If you've connected your Web TV unit to an older television with an RFU adapter, set your TV to either channel 3 or 4, depending on which channel the switch on your RFU adapter is set. To turn on your Web TV to sign on to the internet with the Web TV network, press the round green Web button at the top of your Web TV remote, or the green Power key on the upper left-hand side of your Web TV keyboard. This will turn on your Web TV unit, and if you're connecting for the very first time with your Web TV, it will automatically start the process of setting up that Web TV account. Your Web TV automatically detects the area code that it's calling from, and initially it dials a toll-free number to load the closest local phone number, which in most cases gives you local toll-free access to the Web TV network. Now, after a few moments, you'll see the WebTV logo and an introductory screen that begins the WebTV setup process. Press the oval center key on your WebTV remote or the return key on your WebTV keyboard to press the highlighted Continue button you see here on the lower right-hand side of your screen. This will take you to the next screen. Now let's talk a little about how to select items on your WebTV screen while you're using WebTV to select any item that you see on your TV screen. Press the large up, down, left, or right arrow keys on your WebTV remote, or press the arrow keys on the lower right-hand side of the WebTV keyboard. This will move the yellow highlighted box over any item that you can select on the screen. On this screen, you're being asked to choose whether you'll be using the WebTV remote or the WebTV keyboard to enter the information that's required to set up your WebTV account. If you're like most people, you've also purchased the WebTV keyboard, so we'll select the wireless keyboard option for this example. If you don't have the WebTV keyboard, follow along with us by entering the information using WebTV's on-screen keyboard to highlight and select the letters that you want. Now, to highlight and select the wireless keyboard option, press the right arrow key on your WebTV keyboard to highlight the circle next to the wireless keyboard option, and then press the return key on the WebTV keyboard to select this option. You'll notice that once you've selected this option, a red dot appears next to the wireless keyboard option. To finalize your selection, press the down arrow key on your WebTV keyboard to highlight the Continue button on the lower right-hand side of the screen, and then press the return key on your WebTV keyboard once more to continue to the next screen. At the next screen, use your WebTV keyboard to type in just your first name and then press the return key on the keyboard. Once you've pressed return, you'll see that the Continue button on the lower right-hand side of your screen is highlighted with the yellow highlight bar. Press return again to continue to the next screen. Now, type in your last name with the WebTV keyboard and press the return key when you're done. Make sure that the Continue button is highlighted with the yellow highlight box, and then press the return key on your keyboard again to continue on to the next screen. At the next screen, enter your area code and phone number as shown in the example. Then press the return key on your WebTV keyboard when you're done. Press the return key on your keyboard again to continue on to the next screen. Here, you enter your billing address. Since WebTV has already detected the area code that you're dialing from, it's already filled in the city and the state where you live. So once you've entered in your street address, use your down arrow key on the WebTV keyboard to highlight the zip code box on the screen, and then enter your zip code and press return once more to continue to the next screen. Here, you can review the terms of your WebTV subscription agreement, and when you're finished, you can continue to the next screen. Now let's go on to the next screen. Press the down arrow on your WebTV keyboard to highlight the Continue button on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Then press the return key on the WebTV keyboard again to go to the next screen. Here, use your arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard to select the type of credit card that you'll be using to pay for your WebTV service, and then press Return to select it. If you'd like to pay by check, use your arrow keys to highlight the Payment Options link, and then press Return to select other payment options available on WebTV. Once you've selected your credit card type or your payment option, you'll go on to the next screen. If you're paying by credit card, as most people do, the next screen is where you'll be entering your credit card number. Type in the number in the box as shown here, and take a moment to check and see that you've entered it correctly. When you've finished entering the credit card number, press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard, or the right arrow key on your keyboard to highlight the box where you enter the expiration date of your credit card. Enter the expiration date for your card in the format shown here. Then press the Return key or the down arrow key when you've done to highlight the Continue button on the lower right-hand side of your screen. Then press the Return key once more to continue. At the next screen, you'll be asked to enter your Internet name, which is the name you'll be assigning to your Internet electronic mail account on WebTV. Most people use either their full name or a nickname, but you can enter pretty much any name that you'd like to use to identify yourself online, as long as the name you select hasn't already been chosen by some other WebTV user. Your name can have any combination of letters and numbers, but it can't have any spaces. Enter your Internet name here. Press the Return key when you're done to highlight the Continue button, and then press the Return key again to go forward to the next screen. On the next screen, you can review the WebTV account information that you've just entered. Take a look at your name, address, phone number, credit card, and Internet email address information to make sure that everything is correct. If you need to change any of this information, use your up and down arrow keys on the WebTV keyboard to highlight the information you need to correct, and then press Return in order to correct this information. When you're done, use your down arrow key to highlight the Sign Up button on the lower right-hand side of the screen, and then press the Return key again to continue. The next screen tells you that you've completed the sign-up process and can now go right to the WebTV home page, which is the first screen that you'll see from now on every time you connect to WebTV. Press the Return key again, and now you'll be connected to WebTV. Now you'll see WebTV's main screen, also called the WebTV home page. The WebTV homepage is the first screen you'll see each and every time you connect to the WebTV service. In the next section of this video, we'll cover the highlights available to you from the WebTV homepage, and we'll show you the basics of using your WebTV. Now that you've set up your WebTV unit by entering your subscriber information, let's go online with WebTV and we'll show you some of its main features. Just as you did in the previous section of our video, you can follow along with us as we cover each step that's involved in learning how to use your WebTV. And don't hesitate to stop this video and try each step yourself as we go. Let's start by connecting with WebTV. To connect, press the round green Web button on your WebTV remote or the green Power button on your WebTV keyboard to begin connecting to WebTV. The first screen you'll see once you're online with WebTV is WebTV's homepage. The WebTV homepage is your starting point for accessing all of WebTV's features, such as Internet electronic mail and the other key information features that WebTV has collected to make it easier for you to access some of the Internet's best and most useful features. We'll be returning here over and over again, but let's take a few minutes to show you some of the key features available from the WebTV homepage. At the very top of the WebTV homepage, you'll see 4 graphic symbols: a mailbox representing WebTV's Internet electronic mail, a treasure chest for favorites, a compass map for Explorer, and binoculars for search. These graphic symbols are called icons, and they're used as an easier way for you to quickly identify features, used both on WebTV and also on the Internet in general. On WebTV, these icons represent links, which connect you to various features on WebTV. You can use the arrow keys located on either your WebTV keyboard or on your WebTV remote to move this yellow highlight box over any icon or link on WebTV to highlight and select it. You'll be using your arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or your WebTV remote to get all around WebTV and the Internet. So just take a few seconds and press the up, the down, left, and right arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or your WebTV remote to highlight the various links and get comfortable with moving around on the WebTV homepage. These arrow keys work exactly the same way on both the WebTV keyboard or the WebTV remote, so you can use either one to navigate on WebTV, depending on what you're using WebTV for at any given moment. If you're just surfing around and looking at various Internet features on WebTV, you'll probably find it easier to use the WebTV remote. For using Internet electronic mail, where you have to type in the text of your electronic mail message, then the WebTV keyboard is much better. Using the arrow keys to move the yellow box over a link highlights the link on WebTV by surrounding it with the yellow highlight box. In order to go to that link once you've highlighted it with the arrow keys, you can press either the return key on your WebTV keyboard or the large oval-shaped center key that's in the center of the arrow keys on your WebTV remote. Let's try that now. Press your arrow keys to highlight the treasure chest icon, called the Favorites page on WebTV's homepage. Once you've highlighted it, press the return key on your WebTV keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote. Whenever you see the rotating globe in the small window at the upper left-hand side of the screen, this means that you are actually linking to another web page on WebTV. The name of the web page or the web feature you're accessing is also displayed along the bottom of the screen. You'll now be at your own personal WebTV Favorites page. This is the place where you can save all of the interesting websites and other Internet features that you find while using the Internet with WebTV. We'll cover the Favorites page later on in this video in greater detail. Both WebTV and the manufacturer of your WebTV unit have preloaded a number of Internet favorites into your personal WebTV favorites page. And your WebTV unit comes preloaded with 2 favorite pages loaded into 2 separate favorites folders. One is marked personal and one marked for the manufacturer of your WebTV unit. Let's check out one of these favorites sites right now. If you have the Sony WebTV unit, use the arrow keys to highlight the Sony folder on your favorites page, and then press the return key on your WebTV keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote. Next, you'll come to the favorites list, where you'll see the blue icon for the Jump City website on your WebTV favorites list. Use your arrow keys to select and highlight the Jump City icon with the yellow box. Then press the return key on your WebTV keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote. And let's visit the Jump City site. Whenever you see the rotating globe in the small window at the upper left-hand side of the screen, this means that you're actually linking to another site somewhere else on the Internet. If you have a WebTV unit that's manufactured by a company other than Sony, just highlight and select another icon on your favorites page. If your favorites page does not have the Jump City site, just use your arrow keys to highlight and press return or the center key to select any other icon on your favorites page for this example. You'll now see our own website called Jump City, which we'll be using throughout this video to take you through many fun and useful websites on your WebTV. While we're in Jump City, let's show you how to use the jump code feature, which you'll also be using quite a bit throughout this video. With our exclusive jump codes, you can reach any one of the thousands of top Internet sites reviewed in our printed book, What's on the Web, that's included with every Sony WebTV unit. We've assigned every website reviewed in What's on the Web a simple 4 or 5-digit jump code that you enter here on Jump City so that you can jump instantly to that site. We'll be referring to websites by their jump codes throughout this video whenever you see this caption displayed at the bottom of the screen. You can reach any website simply by entering this jump code from Jump City, which is a lot easier than having to enter the website's address, which can sometimes be very long and confusing. Let's jump to a website by entering its jump code right now. Enter the jump code for the CNN website, 2646, in the jump code box shown here. You can enter these numbers by entering them from your WebTV keyboard or the number keys on your WebTV remote. Once you've entered the jump code, press the return key on your WebTV keyboard or the small round enter key on your WebTV remote to jump directly to the site. You can also use your arrow keys to highlight and select the gray on-screen jump button and then press return or the center key. We're now jumping to the CNN News website. Whenever you see the small rotating globe in the small window at the upper left-hand side of the screen, this means you're actually linking to another web page on WebTV. The name of the web page or web feature that you're accessing is displayed along the bottom of the screen, and the small jagged green line in the box at the lower right-hand side of the screen indicates that graphic or text is loading into your WebTV unit. You can use a web page as soon as you begin to see it on WebTV. While we're at the CNN website, we'll show you a couple of other keys that you'll be using while viewing websites on WebTV. The up and down scroll keys, located along the right-hand edge of your WebTV keyboard and also located to the right of the back button on your WebTV remote, let you quickly scroll down to the bottom of any web page that you're watching on your WebTV screen. The scroll keys are a handy way to quickly move up and down a web page to read all of the material that's there and to get a look at other links that you might want to access from that page. Once you've found an interesting link on a page, you can use the up, down, right, or left arrow keys to highlight and select an interesting web link, and then press the return key on your WebTV keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote to go to that link. We'll come back to Jump City, but for now, let's show you another key to help you move around on WebTV, the back key. The back key on your WebTV keyboard lets you go back to the previous screen you were just viewing on your WebTV. Press it now, and you'll see that you're taken back to the previous screen where we were on WebTV. Press the back key a few times, and you'll go back to the very first screen on WebTV, the WebTV homepage. Don't forget about the back key on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote. It's a handy key that helps you move around web pages on the Internet. Another key you'll be using quite a bit on WebTV is the Recent key. It's located on the bottom right-hand side of your WebTV keyboard. On your WebTV remote, it's the small oval button located on the middle left-hand side. Press the Recent key now on either your WebTV keyboard or your WebTV remote, and you'll see a pop-up window that shows small thumbnail views of the 3 web pages or websites you've just accessed on WebTV. The Recent screen holds up to 12 of these thumbnail images for the most recent websites you've accessed on your WebTV. It's a quick way to go back to a website or a page that you've just visited a couple of minutes ago without having to start from the very beginning and retrace your steps. You can press the arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to highlight and select any of the thumbnails on the Recent screen, and then press the Return key on the WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to go directly to the page represented by the thumbnail that you've selected with your arrow keys. If you don't want to go to one of your thumbnail views shown at this time, just press the Recent key again to remove the Recent page from your WebTV screen. Another very important key that you'll be using a lot with WebTV is the Home key. It's located on the top middle row of your WebTV keyboard. Or on your WebTV remote, it's the round button above the Back key. No matter where you are on the Internet and regardless of how many pages you've accessed previously, the Home key will always take you directly back to the WebTV homepage. Now let's show you how it works. For our example, use your arrow keys to highlight the Mail icon, and then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. We're now at the WebTV electronic mail screen, which we'll come back to shortly in this video. But for now, let's go back to the WebTV homepage. Press the Home key on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote, and you're now back on the WebTV homepage. Now let's take a few minutes to go over the main features of the WebTV homepage. We'll be going over these features in much greater detail, but for now, we'll give you a quick overview. The WebTV Mail icon links you to WebTV's Internet Electronic Mail or email feature on WebTV. The Favorites page, which we've also seen already, takes you to your own personal favorite pages. There you can save your favorite websites as you visit them on the Internet. And the 2 other icons, Explore and Search, connect you to Internet websites and other features that WebTV has selected for you and which cover a wide variety of subjects and special interests. And the Search feature lets you search the Internet by keywords or phrases to find just what you are interested in. Pressing your down arrow key highlights the thin horizontal box that links you to all kinds of useful information relating to our own community and neighborhood. The 2 large main features in the middle of your screen are used by WebTV to highlight interesting new features, and WebTV changes these every day. The smaller links along the left-hand side of your WebTV home screen are useful commands for managing your WebTV service. This sidebar layout is used throughout WebTV, and it features various commands you can use while you're on WebTV. Selecting the large WebTV logo on the sidebar at the upper left-hand side of your screen brings up background information and credits for the WebTV service. The first command below the WebTV logo, the Setup link, allows you to customize your use of WebTV in a number of ways. The link below it, Using WebTV, has easy instructions for using WebTV. It also contains links to help you contact WebTV online and a special WebTV Users Bulletin Board where you can ask questions or get information on using WebTV from other WebTV users just like you. Clicking on the Community links takes you to interesting interactive features where you can interact online with other Internet users through WebTV Chat or online Internet discussion use groups. Go ahead and select any one of these links, and don't worry, you can return to the WebTV homepage at any time by pressing the Back key or the Home key on either the WebTV keyboard or the WebTV remote. WebTV can bring the many useful and entertaining benefits of the Internet directly into your home for your entire family to enjoy. But we should warn you that there is sexually explicit material within easy reach of anyone on the Internet. This is certainly the kind of material that you wouldn't want your own children to see. Fortunately, WebTV has a feature called SurfWatch, which does a good job of blocking out most of this adult-related material on WebTV. If you have children who will be using WebTV, we strongly recommend that you enable this SurfWatch feature as soon as you begin using WebTV by setting up separate accounts for different family members. Bear in mind, however, that blocking software like SurfWatch is not perfect, and sometimes adult-related material can still get through. So you should always supervise your children's use of the Internet, especially when they're using interactive features like chat and news groups. You can follow along with us as we show you how to set up SurfWatch on your WebTV right now. From the WebTV homepage, use your arrow keys to highlight the Setup command along the left-hand side of your WebTV screen. Then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or use the Center key on your WebTV remote. On the next screen, highlight and select the WebTV Users option, and then press the Return key on the WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. To block access to sexually oriented material on the Internet, you'll first have to assign a password to your main WebTV subscriber account. It's a password known only to you, and it will block your children from having unrestricted access to the Internet on this account. Then you assign up to 7 additional accounts that your children can access. You can set up these additional WebTV user accounts to block out adult-oriented material using the SurfWatch feature. Highlight the subscriber name, that's your Internet name, shown in blue at the top of your screen, and press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. Next, you'll see the subscriber information that you entered when you set up your WebTV account. Use your arrow keys to highlight the password box at the bottom of the screen and press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. Next, you'll be asked to enter a password for access to your main WebTV user account. Enter a password for this account in the box shown and then press Return or the down arrow key on your WebTV keyboard to type it in again. Now press Return to highlight the Continue button on the lower right-hand side of your screen, and then press Return once more to continue. At the next screen, press the down arrow key to highlight the Done button, and then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to continue. Now we're back on the WebTV user screen, and we'll want to set up an additional WebTV user account for your children to access with the SurfWatch blocking feature in place. Use your arrow keys to select the Add User button at the bottom of your screen. Then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to add WebTV user accounts for your children to use. If you want your children to send Internet email, you can enter their first and last names here. If you'd rather that your child not be allowed to send or receive email on WebTV, leave this information blank and use your down arrow key to highlight the Continue button to move on. On the next screen, enter your child's name in the box here, and then press Return to highlight the Continue button at the bottom of the screen and press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote again once you've entered the WebTV username for your child. Generally, your child won't need a password to use WebTV, so just highlight the Continue button at the bottom of your screen and press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to continue. On the next screen, use your arrow keys to highlight the way you choose to block access to adult-oriented material on your child's WebTV account. Selecting the SurfWatch feature will do a good job of blocking access to most adult-related material on the Internet. But if you're the parent of a small child, you may want to select WebTV's special kid-friendly service, which further restricts your children to a smaller number of carefully selected websites suitable only for children. Use your up and down arrow keys to highlight either the SurfWatch or kid-friendly blocking features, and then press Return on the WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to choose the blocking feature you prefer. A red dot will appear next to the blocking feature that you've chosen, and you can then use your down arrow key to highlight the Continue button at the bottom of your screen and press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to continue. On the next screen, you'll be given an option to block access to Internet electronic mail or Internet chat rooms on WebTV. To block access to Internet email and chat rooms for your children, select either option, highlighting the block features you want, and press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to place a red check mark within the appropriate boxes. When you've selected the appropriate blocking features for your children, highlight the Continue button at the bottom of your screen, then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to go to the final screen to review the information on this account. If you like, you can use your arrow keys to select and change any of these items shown in blue, and then when you're done, highlight the Done button at the bottom of the screen, and then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to continue. Then press the Done button again if you've finished adding WebTV accounts for your children and other family members. So now, the next time you connect to WebTV, you'll see an additional screen that lets each WebTV user in your family connect to WebTV under their personal account name. While we're on the WebTV homepage, you might want to go to the Setup command to further customize your family's use of WebTV. Use the arrow keys to highlight and select the Setup command, and then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. You'll now see WebTV's main screen setup featuring a variety of setup options. The two setup options you'll probably want to change on this setup screen are the text size option and the advanced option setting shown here. But let's talk about all of the options available here. The billing option lets you change the WebTV address and payment information for your WebTV service. It also lets you assign a password to your individual account. The keyboard setup option lets you select the layout for the on-screen keyboard that is used if you don't have the WebTV keyboard. The text size option is a handy way to change the size of the text displayed on your screen to small, medium, or large. If you have difficulty reading the text on your TV screen, press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote, and then use your arrow keys to highlight and select the large text setting. And then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or, again, the Center key on your WebTV remote, and then use your arrow keys to highlight and select the Done button on the lower right-hand side of your screen. Then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to continue. The music option lets you select background music that can be played continuously while using the Internet on WebTV. Selecting the Choose Music Styles button on the bottom of this screen allows you to choose the type of music you want to listen to. The dialing setup option allows you to change or set up your WebTV unit according to the type of phone system you're using. If you have only one phone line in your home and also have call waiting, you may want to select the call waiting option to set up WebTV to automatically disconnect if it receives a call waiting signal on your phone line. You can also block call waiting so that your WebTV sessions are not interrupted by incoming phone calls. The mail setup option adds some advanced mail features to your WebTV Internet Electronic Mail or email service. The next setup feature, the Advanced Options screen, lets you add two useful new options to the Options key on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote. We'll cover these options in more detail later on, but for now, to select these advanced options, make sure the checkbox is highlighted, then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to add these useful advanced options. Then use the arrow keys to highlight and select the Done button on the lower right-hand corner of your screen, and then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to continue. The next option, Television, lets you center the WebTV screen within your television screen, and it gives you instructions for adjusting the brightness, contrast, and sharpness of your TV screen while using WebTV. If you purchase the optional printer adapter and inkjet printer for printing WebTV pages, you'll want to select the Printing setup option to choose how you want to print out pages from WebTV. Feel free to experiment with any of these different setup options if you'd like. And don't worry, if you set anything that you don't like, you can always set it back. You can't ever break anything on WebTV. Well, we've now shown you some of the basics of using WebTV, but there is so much more. In the next section of this video, we'll show you how to use WebTV's popular Internet Electronic Mail feature, and we'll take you step by step through the process of reading, sending, and saving email messages. Internet Electronic Mail, or email, is one of WebTV's most popular features. Using your WebTV, you can send instant messages to your friends and family members anywhere in the world. It's a great way to keep in touch, and it costs a lot less than making long-distance phone calls. You can use email to communicate with people you meet all over the net. You can also use your WebTV to tap websites like 411.com, which can help you find the email addresses of old friends and family members all around the country. In the next segment of this video, we'll show you how to use services like these to locate friends, relatives, and acquaintances on the Internet. But first, let's talk about Internet email. How does it work? With WebTV email, messages you type on your television screen using WebTV are sent out across the Internet and arrive at the email address of the person you're sending the message to. And just about everybody on the Internet has an email address, which consists of the person's name and the location of their electronic mailbox, which in net jargon is called a domain. Both the name and the domain are separated by an @ sign. This email address is what you have to type in exactly as it appears so you can send an email message to someone you meet. For example, when you want to contact someone who gave you a business card with their email address printed on it, or you want to respond to an ad printed in a newspaper, or to an internet posting that you see on your WebTV screen. And now that you're connected to the internet with WebTV, anyone out there on the internet can send you electronic mail if they know your WebTV email address. We'll show you everything you need to know to send, create, and read your own email messages on your WebTV. And remember, while you're watching this video, you can pause the VCR at any time and follow along with the step-by-step examples we'll be outlining here on your own WebTV. The best way to get familiar with using email is to send an email message to yourself, and that's what we'll show you right now. Now, if you're like most people, you've probably bought the optional WebTV keyboard to use along with your WebTV. You'll find that the keyboard is a must when it comes to writing email messages on WebTV. If you don't have the keyboard, we strongly urge you to buy one. Until then, you can still enter text on WebTV by pressing the center key on your WebTV remote to bring up WebTV's on-screen keyboard and then selecting letters to type with the arrow keys of your WebTV remote. So let's begin. Connect to WebTV and use your arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or your WebTV remote to select the mail icon from the WebTV homepage. Remember, this is the first screen you see every time you connect to WebTV. And here's a handy tip. You can also reach WebTV email by pressing the special Mail key on the top right-hand side of your WebTV keyboard. You'll now see WebTV's main mail list screen. This is the main area where you'll be sending, creating, receiving, and reading your email on WebTV. Now let's create a new message that you'll be sending to yourself on WebTV. Your internet email address is the name you gave yourself when you set up your account with WebTV, and it's always followed by an @ sign, then the phrase webtv.net. And remember, if you misspell or leave any of this information out of any email address, you won't be able to send your email message. Use your WebTV remote's arrow keys or your keyboard's arrow keys to select and highlight the right option on the left-hand side of the screen, and then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the center button on your WebTV remote to create a new email message. Now you'll see the Write a Message screen. It's sort of like a blank page for creating a new email message to send to someone else. The top line tells the person who's receiving your email who the message is from. When you send an email message from your own WebTV, you'll notice that your own email address is in place of the one shown here. Now you'll see a blinking vertical line, which in computer jargon is called a cursor. Here on the second line, that's where you'll begin typing the email address of the person that you'll be sending your email message to. Since you'll be sending an email message to yourself in this case, use your WebTV keyboard or your WebTV remote to type in your own WebTV email address at the to line. Just copy your email address exactly as it appears in the from line above and press the return key on your WebTV keyboard or the center button on your WebTV remote after you finish typing in your email address. Now you're at the next line, the subject line, where you see that blinking cursor again. Here is where you can type a short line or greeting which describes what's in your email message. Here, go ahead and type a short subject for your message, like the one shown here. And after you're done, press the return key on your WebTV keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote. Now you'll see the blinking cursor is now part of the screen where you can type your actual email message. Here, just type out a message to yourself. And as you're typing, remember that you don't have to press the return key as you get close to the right-hand side of the screen. WebTV automatically wraps the words of your message around to the next line. You can make your email message as long as you want. Notice how the message screen stretches at the bottom as your text of the message gets longer. If you make a mistake typing a word, you can also use the delete key on your WebTV keyboard to erase a misspelled word. And you can also use your keyboard's arrow keys to move around inside the email message to insert new words or to fix parts of the message. Now we'll get ready to send your message. When you're satisfied with how your message looks and you're now ready to send your email message out over the internet, press the down arrow key on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to select or highlight the Send button at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Then press the Return key on the keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. You'll now see that pop-up Sending Message window. And since you're sending a message to your own WebTV electronic mailbox, notice how your red message light comes on right away. Email will often arrive just this quickly to the other people on the internet who you send messages to as well. Keep an eye on this red message light whenever you sign on to WebTV or while you're using WebTV. Whenever it comes on, it means you have some new email messages waiting for you. Oh, and by the way, congratulations, you've just sent your first electronic mail message over the internet. Now, let's check your email by taking a look at the email message you just sent to yourself. To check your WebTV mailbox for new messages, press the Mail button on your WebTV keyboard, or, if you've been following along with us, press the back key on your WebTV keyboard or remote to go back to the WebTV home page, and then reselect the Mail icon to see the message you've just sent to yourself. The electronic mail messages you receive on WebTV show you who sent the message, the subject, and the date you received the message, and the email message that you haven't read yet are displayed on your screen in boldface type. To read a new email message, make sure it's highlighted with the yellow outline box, and then press the Return key on your keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. You'll now see the message that you just sent to yourself. From this point, there are a number of options you can click on while reading your WebTV email. To use any of these options, simply press the up or down arrow key of your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to select an option, and then press the Return key on the keyboard or the Center key on your remote to select the option. You can click on the next option to read the next email message in your mailbox. You can click on the Discard option to erase the email message on your screen. The Save option lets you store a copy of the email message you're currently viewing to another secure storage area on the WebTV network service. It's kind of like having your own private file folder on WebTV, and it's a handy feature to use for saving those important email messages you receive. And you might want to read again a few weeks from now. It's also a good place to store email messages which people send to you containing pictures or links to interesting web pages. Let's save the email message you're currently reading, and we'll come back to it later. Use the arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to highlight the Save option, and then press Return on the keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. The email message you're currently viewing will then be saved in a safe computer storage area on the WebTV network where no one will be able to read it and where you will be able to store it so that you can read it again sometime later. You can also click on the Reply option to reply directly to the person who sent you the email message. When you start sending and receiving more email on WebTV, you'll find yourself using this feature quite often. Clicking on the Reply option opens up a new mail message screen that is automatically addressed directly to the person who sent you the original email message. You can type your response and then email it back to the sender just like sending any other WebTV email message. Remember this feature because you'll be using it quite a bit as you begin to get more and more email messages from other people who send you internet email. The Forward option lets you send or forward a copy of the message that you're currently reading to another person on the internet by email. Now, this is a handy feature for passing along family news or other interesting messages to friends, family members, and other people you meet on the internet. Before we leave this screen, let's do one more thing. Use the arrow keys on your keyboard or the WebTV remote to highlight the blue Name shown here on the From line of the email message, and then press the Return key on your keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. The next screen asks you if you'd like to add this email address to your own personal WebTV address list. WebTV's address list feature lets you store all the electronic mail addresses of friends, family members, and other people you meet while you're using the internet. And of course, it's a handy feature to use when you ever need to send an email message to someone later on. For our example, highlight the Yes button, then press Return on the keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. For this example, you're saving your own email address to your own address list, just to see how it's done. Now you'll go to another screen where you can add a new email address to your own private address list on WebTV. Since we'll be coming back to this example in the next section of the video, use your arrow keys to highlight and then click the Done button to save your email address in your own WebTV email address book. Using your arrow keys to highlight the mail list option on the left-hand side of your screen and then pressing the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote will take you back to the main WebTV email screen. Let's do that now so that we can show you some of WebTV's more advanced electronic mail features. Now that you know how to check, read, and send internet email on your WebTV, let's cover some of the other handy features of WebTV email. Starting from WebTV's main mail list screen, we'll show you how to use the features you see listed along the left-hand side of the screen. And if you've been following along with us and learning how to send an email message, you've already used the write command, which lets you create a new email message. The next option, storage, holds the email message we just saved in the previous example. Remember that it's kind of like having your own private file folder on WebTV. Let's check out the message that we just saved here from our previous example. Select this storage option and then press the return key on your keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote. Now you'll see the message we just saved in our previous example. That's the message that you just sent to yourself. From here you can read this email message, reply to it, forward it to someone else, or use any other option available in WebTV email. This saved mail screen also features a number of other useful options for email housekeeping. The discarded option shows you the email messages you've already erased on your own. WebTV stores these messages that you've already erased for a limited time so that you can get them back if you've deleted them accidentally. The Sent option, a handy email feature, automatically stores all of the email messages that you've sent during the past week. Now, this is a useful thing to have if you find out that you need to resend an email message to someone who didn't receive it the first time you sent it, or if you have to send a copy of an email message to someone else. The next option, Cleanup, lets you do some basic house cleaning of your saved mail. Select it, and you can then check off the messages that you'd like to erase from WebTV, and then select the Discard option to erase those messages. Now, press the back key on your keyboard or your WebTV remote, and let's go back to WebTV's main mail list screen. The next option along the left-hand side of your screen, Addresses, is where you can store the Internet electronic mail addresses of your friends, family members, and people you meet on the Internet. And if you've been following along with us in this video, you'll remember that we've already stored your email address to this address list. So select this Addresses option and click on it. You should now see your own email address. And since you've already added your own email address from our previous example, you see it displayed here on your WebTV screen. WebTV's address list feature adds a couple of handy features that you'll find very useful for sending Internet email. Since you can store email addresses here in your address list, it saves you from having to retype those email addresses for the people that you send email to most often. It also lets you send the same email message to as many people as you'd like from your own email address list. Let's take a minute to show you how to send an email message from your address list. Let's go back to your WebTV's main mail list screen. From the address list, highlight and click the Done option, or press the back key on your keyboard or WebTV remote. From your main mail list screen, select the Write option to write a new mail message. You'll now see a blank message screen, which is the starting point for sending new email messages. To send another message again to yourself, but this time by using your address book, use your left arrow key on your keyboard or WebTV remote to highlight the address option at the left-hand side of the screen, and then press the return key on the keyboard or the center key on the WebTV remote. You'll now see this pop-up window with your address list on it. Use your arrow keys to select one or more email addresses of people that you'd like to send your message to, and then press the return key on the keyboard or again the center key on your WebTV remote to place a red check mark next to the names of the people that you'd like to send the message to. When you've selected one or more addresses to send this message to, you can use your right arrow key to highlight the Continue button and then press Return on the keyboard or the center key on your remote to go back to the new message screen. Notice that the address you selected has been automatically placed in the To line of your new message. From this point, you can either finish sending this message to yourself again or just back out of the screen by selecting the Mail List option or press the back key on your keyboard or WebTV remote to go back to WebTV's Mail List screen. Let's cover two of the final options available on WebTV email. The Cleanup option lets you erase or save messages in your WebTV electronic mailbox. It lets you clean up older email messages and also lets you save those more important messages as well. Just highlight the box next to each message you'd like to erase and press your Return or Center key to place a red check next to a message that you'd like to discard. When you're done, use your left arrow key to select the Discard option. Then press Return on your keyboard or the Center key on your remote to finish erasing your email messages. Likewise, if you want to save or store some of your more important email, just check off the messages you'd like to save. Then select the Save option. The last option on the mail screen, Setup, includes some very useful additional options for helping you get more from using WebTV email. Setup lets you choose whether to display the older received messages or the newer ones first. It lets you add multiple carbon copy email recipients to your email messages. It lets you reply automatically to everyone who's also listed as a carbon copy recipient on messages that are sent to you. It lets you add a distinctive line of text called a signature to the end of your email address. And it lets you set WebTV to check your email automatically, even when your television is turned off overnight. Here are a few final tips for using email on WebTV. Remember to type your email message in the main area of your screen and not in the subject line. Also, remember that you don't have to press return at the end of each line in your email message. The WebTV message screen will automatically wrap a word over to the next line for you. And remember that once you send a message, you can't take it back. So be careful about what you say in WebTV email messages. Keep in mind that it's considered bad manners on the Internet to type your message in all capital letters, since capitalized letters are used in net email to indicate that something is being shouted. We think you'll enjoy spending many fun and productive hours using WebTV's Internet electronic mail feature to communicate with other family members, friends, and all the people that you'll meet over the Internet. The Internet's World Wide Web, also called the web, is the Internet's largest and most popular feature. Using your WebTV, you can access literally hundreds of thousands of individual places on the Internet. They're called websites, covering just about any subject or special interest you can imagine, and in fact, many subjects that you could never imagine. The web has become so popular that the Internet is now usually also called the web. The web features hundreds of thousands of websites, which are individual information spots that you can access. Think of them as hundreds of thousands of new channels that you've just added to your TV with WebTV. A website can be displayed on your screen and features text, useful or entertaining information, interesting pictures, even video and audio clips, which you can see and hear with your WebTV. Many websites also feature online bulletin board forums, where you can get into online discussions with other Internet users. A web page also contains many links. These are called hot links, which you can highlight using the arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or your WebTV remote. These links allow you to jump to other screens or pages within a website, or they can link you to other completely different websites all over the Internet. The first screen you see when you access a new website is also called its home page. A website's home page is its starting point for reaching out to all the other links or features contained in that particular website. You can access virtually all of the hundreds of thousands of individual websites containing literally millions of individual web pages using your WebTV. Here are a few pointers for getting the most out of using websites on your WebTV. When you're viewing a web page on WebTV, you can use your WebTV remote's up, down, left, and right arrow keys to select and highlight the individual links that you see on any web page. To access any web page link after you've highlighted it with the yellow box, press the oval-shaped center key on your WebTV remote. You can also use your WebTV keyboard's up, down, left, and right arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard to highlight individual website links and then press the return key on your WebTV keyboard to go there. For accessing websites, you really don't need to do a lot of typing on your WebTV keyboard, so we think you'll actually prefer to use the WebTV remote, which makes it even more fun to surf the web using your WebTV. When you're viewing web pages on WebTV, don't forget to use the scroll buttons on your WebTV remote or the scroll up and scroll down keys on your WebTV keyboard. They're a handy and fun way to speed up the process of viewing web pages because they let you move quickly from the top to the very bottom of any web page. We think you'll actually find yourself using the scroll buttons far more than you will be using the arrow keys. Use the scroll buttons to skim a website that you might be interested in, and then use the arrow keys to more carefully select the links within a web page once you've decided where you want to go on that page. If you're like us, you like to channel surf when you're watching TV, and when you're surfing the Internet by viewing websites on your WebTV, you'll find yourself surfing the web in the same way. And because there are so many more websites out there than there are television channels on TV, it's easy to lose your way or lose track of those interesting websites that you found along the way. Fortunately, WebTV has a couple of useful features to help you keep track of where you've been and where you'd like to go on the web. While you're surfing the web, you can press the back key on your WebTV remote or the keyboard to view the previous web screen, the one you just visited on WebTV. Press the recent key on your WebTV remote or keyboard to pull up a window showing scaled-down views of the web pages you've recently visited. The most recent pages you visited start at the lower right-hand side of this screen, and you can use your WebTV remote or keyboard's arrow keys to highlight and then go back to any of these pages if you'd like. Let's also take a minute to cover some handy web surfing features that you can access any time that you're using WebTV by pressing the Options key on the WebTV remote or keyboard. You can press the Options key and then use your arrow keys to select one of several useful options. We found the option you'll use most often in this window is the Save option, which lets you save a direct link to the web page that you're currently viewing to your personal WebTV Favorites page. Unlike using the back button, these bookmarks, as they're known, will be stored on your Favorites page until you decide to delete them. Don't forget to use the Save feature often whenever you find an interesting website. This way you can go back to that site anytime by using your Favorites list without having to remember where you found it on the web. We'll tell you a little bit more about how to use and organize your Favorites page later on. Send is another handy feature that you'll find on WebTV's Options screen. Because it lets you send a link to the website you're currently viewing by electronic mail to anyone who's on the internet. It's a useful way to share those interesting websites with family and friends by email because using Send lets someone else access the website that you just mailed to them by clicking on it directly from their internet electronic mailbox. The other available features on the Options screen will take you back to the WebTV homepage on the WebTV network, will let you search the web page that you're currently using a keyword, will give you info or information on a web page, such as its internet address and the date and time it was last changed, and it will also give you a go-to window where you can type in a website address to access that site directly. Two other useful buttons are available on the Options screen by selecting the Advanced Options Setup option from the WebTV homepage. We covered the Setup option on the previous section of this video. These additional options are Reload, which lets you reload the current page into your WebTV. When you reload a web page, it refreshes the information. That makes sure that you're seeing the most current version of the page and not an older stored copy of it. This is a handy feature to use on sites which change constantly, like current news sites, which may be updated every few minutes. And the other available feature, Hang Up, lets you temporarily hang up while using WebTV. As you've already seen from this video, you'll find many interesting sites that you'll want to return to again and again while surfing the web with your WebTV. We've already talked about how you can save your favorite websites to your own personal WebTV favorites list, and now we'll cover some more about this very important feature. Starting from the WebTV homepage, use the arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to highlight and select the Favorites icon on WebTV's main screen. Then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or center of your WebTV remote to go there. Let's take a look at your WebTV personal favorites list. As you can see, your favorites list looks kind of like a file folder where you can store your own favorite websites as you discover them on the web. Your WebTV is already set up with a personal favorites folder, and as you can see by the commands on the left-hand side of your screen, you can also add new folders to organize your website links by topics such as news, fun and games, business, or whatever topics you select. You can also use these features to assign a separate folder for each member of your family. We'll come back to this feature in a little while. But for now, we'll show you how to save a website to your own favorites list. As you can see, the personal WebTV favorites list already comes preloaded with a few links to websites that WebTV or the manufacturer of your WebTV set-top box has chosen for you, and they're displayed on your favorites list. Let's show you how to save more useful website links to your own personal favorites list on WebTV. Anytime you're using WebTV, you can save any website to your personal favorites list. We'll just give you a quick example. Press the Go-To key on the upper right-hand side of your WebTV keyboard, or select the Go-To button after pressing the Options key on your WebTV remote. The Go-To option pulls up a window that allows you to enter a website address that takes you directly to a website that you'd like to visit. Now, for our example, let's go to Yahoo, a popular website that we'll be visiting later in this video. Use your WebTV keyboard and type in the word Yahoo. And here's a handy thing to know. If you're entering a simple web address like yahoo.com in the WebTV Go-To window, you can skip the .com part of the address. Just enter the first part of the website address, in this case, Yahoo. Then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote, and WebTV fills in the rest of the website address. You'll now be linked to the Yahoo website. And now let's save Yahoo to your own WebTV Personal Favorites page. If you're using the WebTV keyboard, press the Save key on the upper right-hand side of your WebTV keyboard. This brings up a pop window on your screen where you can press the Return on your keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote to save the Yahoo site to your personal WebTV Favorites list. Now let's go back to your WebTV Favorites list. And remember, you can reach your own WebTV Personal Favorites list anytime while using WebTV simply by pressing the Faves key on your WebTV keyboard or by pressing the Home key on your WebTV remote, and then by selecting the Favorites icon from WebTV's home page. And now that you're back on your WebTV Favorites page, you'll see that Yahoo has been added to the list of links on your own WebTV Personal Favorites list. Clicking on this icon connects you immediately to the Yahoo site anytime you want to go there. So remember that saving your favorite websites works with any website, anywhere on the internet. And once you save your favorite websites, you can reach them anytime simply by starting from your own WebTV Favorites list. Now, before we move on, let's save another website we'll be using quite a bit through the rest of the next section of this video. Jump City is a website created especially for WebTV users by Internet Media, the producers of this video. Jump City has already been loaded onto the favorites list for WebTV units made by Sony, but if you're not using a WebTV made by Sony, or if you don't see the Jump City icon already on your WebTV Personal Favorites list, let's go ahead and save it now. Press the Go To key on your WebTV keyboard and then type Jump City into the scroll-up Go To window. Then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote. You'll then be at the main screen on Jump City. From here, press the Save key on your WebTV keyboard or press the Options key on your WebTV remote, and then highlight and click the Save button to save Jump City to your personal favorites list. We'll be referring to the use of our exclusive jump code feature, which you can use from Jump City, as we go along in our video tour of interesting websites to visit with your WebTV. So you'll be coming back to Jump City often. Let's take a minute to show you another very handy feature of your WebTV Favorites page. If you're using the WebTV keyboard, you can go to your favorite websites anytime you want just by pressing a special key on your WebTV keyboard. This feature is called a shortcut, and here's how to set it up. You can assign any website that you've saved to your favorites list to any one of the 7 F or numbered favorites keys along the top row of the left-hand side of your WebTV keyboard. Now, this means that at any time you're on the internet, all you have to do is press one of these F keys that you've assigned to a website to go there anytime you'd like. Starting from your WebTV favorites list, use the arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or remote to highlight and select the Organize option shown on the left-hand side of your WebTV favorites list, and then use the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to select the Organize option. From the next screen, use your arrow key to highlight and then select the Shortcuts option shown here on the screen. Next, you'll see a list of the websites already stored on your WebTV favorites page. Since we'll be using Jump City quite a bit in the rest of this section of our video, let's create a shortcut for it. Select the button on the right-hand side of the screen and then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to go to the next screen. From this next screen, press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote next to one of the F1 through 7 key positions along the right-hand side of the screen. This lets you assign an automatic shortcut to the corresponding F key on your WebTV keyboard. Use the Return key on your keyboard or the Center key on your remote to place a red dot next to the Favorites key that you've selected. And then use your arrow keys to scroll down to the bottom of the screen and select the Done button with your keyboard or remote's arrow keys. Now press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to assign that Favorites key. If you're using the Sony WebTV unit, Jump City has already been loaded to the second position on your Favorites page, so you may as well assign it to the F2 key on your WebTV keyboard. Once you've assigned a favorites key, you can then go back and assign additional shortcuts to your favorite websites, or press the Faves key on your WebTV keyboard to go back to your favorites list. Let's check out what we've just done now. From your favorites list, or at any time when you're using the internet on your WebTV, now all you have to do is press the F2 key to go to Jump City, or press any other F key that you've just assigned to any other website. This is a handy feature, and we're sure you'll be using it all the time while surfing the web with your WebTV. Here's another handy feature that's available on WebTV's keyboard. While you're viewing a website on your WebTV, you can also send a link to that web page by WebTV email to anyone else's internet electronic mailbox on the internet. Now, to do this, whenever you're viewing a website on WebTV, press the Send key, located on the top right side of your WebTV keyboard. You'll see a window where you can fill in the internet email address of the person that you want to send this web page link to. This link is then sent like a regular email message, and the person who receives this emailed link can click on the link that you send them and go right to the site. This is a handy feature if you find a good web page and you want to share it with someone else. And now let's quickly talk about another feature that you might find useful on your favorites page. By selecting the Add Folder option on the left-hand side of your WebTV favorites list, you can create up to 20 more folders so that you can further organize websites by topics like news, websites, chat sites, or sites for your favorite hobbies. Or you can also provide a separate favorites folder for each member of the family, so each of them can have their own favorites pages too. As you begin to use the internet more and more, you'll find this feature really comes in handy because you'll be visiting and saving a lot of websites and adding additional folders that will help you organize these saved websites more efficiently. It's just another way that you can make the web into your web by using WebTV. Now let's start looking at just a few of the fascinating websites out there that you can visit with your WebTV. And don't forget to save any of these sites to your own personal favorites list if you'd like to go back to them later. WebTV has made it easy for you to surf the web right from the WebTV homepage. WebTV's editorial staff has selected literally hundreds of interesting websites accessible from WebTV's Explore feature, plus the Around Town feature, which links you to many interesting websites covering information, news, and events in your local area. Let's check it out. From WebTV's homepage, use your arrow keys to highlight the Around Town link option, and then press Return on your WebTV keyboard, or the center button on your WebTV remote. Next, you'll see a display of all kinds of interesting and useful information for your area. The Around Town screen displays a 5-day weather forecast for your local area, and below it, 2 very useful additional features. Under Local Services, you can tap a variety of restaurant reviews for restaurants in the area, a listing of local events around town, an on-screen business Yellow Pages service for your city, and for any other city in the U.S. for that matter, a free classified advertising listing where you can search for local merchandise and services in your area and place your own classified ads free of charge. An on-screen telephone directory to locate someone's phone number or address both in your city and any other city in the United States. And an up-to-date local movie listing where you can find out what movies are playing at the local theater. We think you'll especially enjoy the Around Town local websites feature with links to hundreds of useful and interesting websites created by community groups, organizations, and individuals right in your own neighborhood. Link here and you can find all kinds of interesting places to go and things to see in your neighborhood, plus links to websites for local stores, shops, libraries, parks, even links to other web pages created by your neighbors, people in your community. Press the Home key on your WebTV remote or keyboard to return to the WebTV homepage. The Explore option, which is always available from WebTV's homepage, is your starting point for accessing websites which have been collected by WebTV's editorial staff. You can access websites organized under Explore by using the arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or remote to highlight a category under the main menu along the left-hand side of the screen, and then pressing the Return key on your keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to access a listing of subtopics organized under each of these main subject categories. WebTV has selected all kinds of interesting websites for you to explore, and each day they also highlight topics of interest or websites for you. WebTV has organized literally hundreds of websites under more than a dozen categories with websites covering just about anything you might be interested in. There are links to entertainment-related sites, fun and game, sites for you and your children, health and fitness information, educational sites for your children, business, stock market investing, and consumer-related sites. We think you will especially like the news, sports, and TV categories that are featured on WebTV's Explorer screen. So let's look at these three in greater detail. Selecting the news option from the WebTV Explorer screen takes you to an extensive list of web news sites where you can customize your own daily news screen to track only the topics that are of interest to you, get more in-depth information on the latest news headlines, and access hundreds of websites created by major newspapers, magazines, radio, and television broadcast networks. You can access any of these sites while you're even watching your local TV network news program on your own television, so that you can get more in-depth information on a specific story that might be of interest to you. Accessing WebTV's sports option takes you to an extensive array of up-to-the-minute news, game scores, and information on just about any sport. You can literally track up-to-the-minute sports items by clicking on the WebTV sports ticker, which is especially handy for checking those sports scores on other games while you're watching another game on your regular television. The TV link accessible from WebTV's main Explorer screen is your on-screen programming guide to TV listings and many fascinating TV-related news and entertainment-related websites accessible instantly from WebTV. From here, you can access all types of interesting information on your favorite TV actors, sitcoms, and dramas, and get access to a number of online program guides such as TV Guide Online, where you can get up-to-the-minute TV program listings from TV Guide, customized for your area, of course, and the kinds of programs that you like to watch. You can also link to companion websites for many TV news programs, which often feature more in-depth information and related web links on topics that have been covered by the regular broadcast program. You can tap into in-depth information created by the dedicated TV fans of your favorite programs. These fan sites often contain TV show trivia, on-screen episode guides for TV series, plus fan information for your favorite TV actors and characters. WebTV has assembled a lot of TV-related websites here, and don't forget that you can access any of the websites under WebTV's Explorer screen while you're watching regular broadcast or cable TV programming. We've just covered the highlights of some of the websites featured on WebTV's Explorer screen, and by now you've probably had the chance to sample some of the websites that WebTV has collected for you under Explorer. But remember, there's much, much more out there on the Internet, and you can access all that is available on the Internet with your WebTV too. The most direct way to reach a brand new Internet website is to type in its website address, which in Internet jargon is also called a URL. You type that onto the WebTV screen. You've seen URLs listed in newspapers, magazines, and broadcast on television, and even heard about them on radio programs. A web address, or URL, is that string of characters that begins with HTTP, or www. And as you begin to use the web more often, you'll find that you'll be exchanging these website addresses with friends, family, and business acquaintances. So it's a good idea to learn how to enter these URLs so that you can reach a website directly from WebTV. To enter a website address at any time while you're using WebTV, press the Options key on your WebTV keyboard or the Options button on the WebTV remote. Press the right arrow key to highlight the Go To button on the Options screen, and then press Return on your keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. On the next window, the Go To window, you can enter the web address of the page that you'd like to reach. For this example, enter the address www.jumpcity.com. and then press the Return or Center keys on your keyboard or remote, or use your arrow key to highlight the Go To page button beneath the web address entry box, and then press Return on your keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. We've just entered the address and accessed Jump City, the website we produced especially for you to use with WebTV. In this section of our video, we'll take you on a fascinating tour of some of the Internet's best and most useful features accessible on your WebTV using Jump City. Jump City is your on-screen companion to our printed guidebook, What's on the Web, which is included with every Sony WebTV. Our 400-page guidebook covers almost 1,500 of the Internet's best sites for you and your entire family. You can reach each and every one of these websites covered in What's on the Web instantly by entering our exclusive patent-pending jump code, a code that we've listed for each site on Jump City. By simply entering the 4- or 5-digit jump code we've assigned for the thousands of the web's top attractions, you can reach any of these sites instantly instead of having to type in those tricky and confusing website addresses. Jump City also features some useful tutorials to help you get the most from the Internet, plus our regular updates featuring our choices of the web's best new features and a wide range of useful tips for getting more from the Internet with your web TV. In this section, we'll show you how to use our exclusive jump code feature to reach any website that we're talking about in this video. Just enter the jump code when you see this jump code bar at the bottom of the screen on this video as we describe a website. Then, from Jump City, use your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to enter the jump code in the rectangular box on Jump City, and then either use the arrow key on your WebTV remote to highlight and select the jump button you see here, or simply press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the small round Enter key on your WebTV remote to jump directly to the site. And remember, if you're using a Sony WebTV, Jump City has been automatically loaded into your own WebTV favorites page, so you can select it and go there at any time while you're using WebTV. So let's use Jump City to take a tour of some of the best sites available on the Internet with your WebTV. Press the Faves key on your WebTV keyboard or use your WebTV remote to select the Favorites icon at the top of the WebTV homepage. And then use your arrow keys to highlight and select the Jump City icon on your WebTV's Favorites page. Follow along with us on Jump City. Just enter the jump code displayed at the bottom of the screen while we describe each website to reach any of the sites from Jump City. And if you see a website that you'd be interested in returning to later, by all means, don't forget to press the Save key on your WebTV keyboard to save the site to your personal favorites list. And remember, you can go back to Jump City at any time while you're surfing the Internet on your WebTV by pressing the Recent button on your WebTV keyboard or your WebTV remote to access the miniature Jump City screen icon on the pop-up screen of your most recently accessed websites. While WebTV certainly makes it easy to access the Internet, it also helps you learn a few basic facts about how the Internet works, what's out there, how to access it, and a few of the key buzzwords that you'll see popping up all over the Internet. We found a couple of sites accessible from Jump City that'll help you do just that, and we strongly suggest you check these sites out first to give you some good background on the Internet. You might want to have a pencil and paper ready so that you can write down the jump codes for the sites that we'll be mentioning here. Check out Life on the Internet at Jump 7344. This site has many informative on-screen articles covering the impact of the Internet on our business and our culture. Scroll down on the left-hand side of this site's Beginner's Guide, which we think is the best part of this site. Here you'll find links to many interesting net resources to help you get up to speed quickly with using the Internet and to become more familiar with all those Internet buzzwords. While you're here, take a look at some of the Beginner's Guide links to some additional tutorials on the Internet that have been written especially for first-time Internet users. Now, let's take a look at a few sites which have been created by WebTV users, especially for WebTV users. Ruel Hernandez, a devoted WebTV user, is the creator of Ruel's WebTV pages, where he keeps you up to date with all kinds of WebTV-related news articles and user tips. Ruel's WebTV pages also features many links to other interesting pages which have been created by WebTV users just like you. You can reach Ruel's WebTV pages at Jump 9858. Would you like to have your own web page on WebTV? Well, it's pretty easy to set up your own web page to publish information on your personal interest. And once you create your web page, you can publish it on any number of sites which showcase collections of personal web pages. These sites are called web rings, and they've been created by other WebTV users on the Internet. And one of the biggest web rings is the optimized web ring at Jump 9860. Jump here and you'll be able to surf through many original and interesting personal web pages created by WebTV users just like you. When you're done looking at a web page, you can view the next page in the web ring by pressing the arrow key at the bottom of the screen. WebTV's Real Audio feature lets you tap thousands of available music, radio, and other audio programs that are available on the Internet, and unlike listening to your radio, you can listen to these programs on your WebTV anytime that's convenient to you, and not just when these programs are scheduled to play on your radio.
From ABC News, I'm Karen Chase. A White House spokesman says it's a distraction.
Now let's take a look at a few sites which feature Real Audio. Timecast at Jump 9804 features one of the Internet's biggest collection of audio playable on your WebTV. Here you'll find live Internet audio feeds from radio stations across the U.S. and, in fact, around the world, archives of popular radio news and feature programs, and there's even a page with links to live music concerts playing at nightclubs and concert halls around the world. You can reach Timecast at Jump 9804, and make sure to click the audio link along the left-hand side of your screen to access audio files that are playable on your WebTV. AudioNet at Jump 9809 is another larger and very popular Internet library of playable audio files for WebTV. Jump here and you can listen to your favorite radio talk show, access live feeds from radio stations in the U.S. and again around the world, and you can even sample songs from music CDs before you buy them. WebTV is great for those of you who want to find friends and family members on the Internet, so you can get in touch with them by email. There are a number of sites out there that will help you find the Internet email addresses of long-lost friends, family members, or business contacts. These websites also have features that will help you look up their regular mailing address and phone numbers, too. It's a great way to catch up with long-lost friends, schoolmates, or anyone else that you may have lost contact with over the years. In order to get in touch with someone, though, you have to find their Internet email address. And one of the best sites on WebTV for doing this is the 411.com site, or 411.com, accessible from WebTV's homepage or from Jump City at Jump 3632. 411.com has been modified so that it works even better with your WebTV. And once you are there, you simply enter the first and last name of the person you're trying to locate, and then you'll usually receive a list of all of the people in the 411.com database that have that same name. One of the nice features of the 411.com is that if you also happen to know the city or state where the person you're searching for lives, simply highlight and click the Modify Search option to narrow your search. Many times you'll also be able to get a person's physical mailing address and phone number in addition to their Internet email address. Another useful site for locating other Internet users and businesses is the People Finder site, which is part of the popular Lycos web search site, and it's accessible from Jump City at Jump 9626. People Finder lets you search the Internet by name, email address, or phone number, and has some other useful features such as a directory of businesses on the web and a guide to web pages covering events and attractions for all major cities. When it comes to getting current news the way you want it, the web has become a popular place for literally millions of Internet users. With WebTV, you can get the latest news from thousands of websites both here in the U.S. and around the world. All the major television networks have extensive websites where you can access additional background and resource information on the stories that these networks cover on their nightly news broadcast. And WebTV also makes it easy for you to access these news sites while you're watching the news on WebTV. Most newspapers and magazines have created their own websites, which offer updated content and searchable archives or collections of previous news items. You can search many of these archives to get listings of stories published over the past several months on a particular topic. From Jump City, you can reach the websites for all the major news networks to see more in-depth coverage of their nightly news stories. For example, you can access MSNBC, the companion website for the NBC broadcast and cable networks, at Jump 5733. The official site for the ABC network is abc.com at Jump 9791. And you can reach the CBS News companion website at Jump 5614. CNN at Jump 2646 also maintains one of the web's best news sites, and it's fun to watch on WebTV while you're also watching on CNN or headline news on your regular TV. From CNN, you can pick the stories you want to see, and you can even search CNN's archive of previous news stories that relate to the subject you are interested in. USA Today at Jump 2654 is another news site whose on-screen features closely match the print version that we're all familiar with. The USA Today site features continuously updated news stories with top stories arranged along the right-hand side so that you can check the day's news at a glance. But if you're ready for a more in-depth look at the news, you can't do much better than the New York Times at Jump 8062. Jump here to get a look at each day's complete issue of the print version of the Times. This site also maintains a useful, keyword-searchable archive of many of the newspaper's most recent articles, which you can use to pull up a reading list of recent New York Times articles on any subject that you're interested in. With WebTV and the Internet, you can also get news direct from the wire service of Associated Press, UPI, and Reuters, just like reporters do. The Internet has also become a viable news distribution channel of its own, playing host to dozens of fresh and original websites which use the Internet to bring you all kinds of specialized news and commentary. Hundreds of independent news sources have also sprung up all over the Internet, and they can give you news and commentary that you don't get from more conventional news sources. These websites cover the current issues from all sides of the political spectrum, but they all work very hard to provide you with news which they think you're not going to get from more conventional news sources. Sometimes these websites are produced by political advocacy groups with an agenda, But some of the more interesting sites have been created by individuals who are using the web as a powerful way to broadcast their own news and opinions. One of the web's most popular independent news sites is the Drudge Report at Jump 9790. Link to this page and you'll get freshly updated news, gossip, and opinion from Matthew Drudge, a one-man news and gossip commentator who always provides interesting and controversial news stories, rumors, and commentary on the web. Drudge has a reputation for beating the conventional media to the punch on many big stories. So the Drudge Report has become sort of a cult favorite among many top news and Hollywood entertainment executives who read it every morning. The front page of the Drudge Report is a plain but useful page of links to many of the web's top news sources, like key wire service links, and links to many of the nation's top syndicated columnists. If you're into sports, there are dozens of first-rate sports news sites to choose from. But we think the best starting point on WebTV is ESPN's Sports Zone. It's at Jump 1508. This is one of the web's most popular sites, and it's one of those great sites for WebTV users, too, because you can watch it on WebTV while you're watching the game to get scores of other games that you're following and the latest news on just about any sport you're into. And when you're searching for sports sites, don't forget to check out the more specialized sites like NFL.com at Jump 5704 or basketball's NBA.com at Jump 5706. And if you're a baseball fan, check out Total Baseball at Jump 5653. These specialized sports sites are packed with all kinds of useful team and player information, game stats, news, scores, and much, much more. And many also include interactive discussion groups where you can comment on yesterday's game, players, coaches, or your favorite team. When it comes to watching your regular TV, WebTV adds a whole new dimension to TV programs that you're watching now. You can link to websites that contain all kinds of interesting additional information on your favorite shows, including background info on your favorite stars and characters, pictures, sound clips, even summaries of past episodes, so that you can catch up on a new show or one that you may have missed on TV. Many TV-related websites even feature online talk forums where you can discuss your favorite programs with other Internet users. There are also many interesting unofficial websites that have been created by the devoted fans of top TV shows. We have to confess that some of these unofficial sites are actually better than the official sites created by the show's producers. There are many interesting sites for your favorite TV shows available on WebTV. Check Jump City's TV Underground feature for listings of companion websites to some of the most popular shows, and WebTV has also compiled an extensive listing of TV-related websites, which you can reach by selecting the Explore option from WebTV's main screen, and then by selecting the TV menu link along the left-hand side of the Explore screen. Here you'll see an extensive listing of websites that are related to popular TV shows, organized by actors, types of shows, and networks. There are websites covering all of your favorite daytime soap operas. There are even websites covering those nostalgic and even obscure TV shows that you grew up with as a kid. While you're in the TV section of WebTV's Explore section, select WebTV's Listings option to view a number of on-screen programming guides that you can access on WebTV while watching television to see what's on TV tonight. One of the more popular on-screen programming guides on WebTV is TV Guide Online. It's produced by TV Guide. Selecting the TV Guide Online link off the WebTV Explore TV screen will let you create your own personal on-screen programming guide on WebTV, covering just the kinds of programs and channels that you would like to watch. Use your arrow keys to select the TV listings link on the upper side of the screen, and then click the Return key on your keyboard or the center button on your WebTV remote to continue. If you're using TV Guide Online for the first time, you'll be asked to complete a short registration screen. Select the Click Here to Register link at the middle of your screen and enter your nickname, a password, and then retype that password, and then click the Go To icon at the bottom of your screen to view program listings for your area. You'll also be asked to enter your zip code so TV Guide Online can produce a customized program listing for your area. TV Guide Online will show you the available broadcast and cable programs currently playing on TV. To get a summary of a program or an episode, use your arrow keys to highlight and select any listing. To see what shows will be on later today, use the arrow keys to highlight and select the small blue right triangle at the bottom of the program listings. Or use your arrow keys and press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the center key on your WebTV remote to view a program listing up to 14 days from now. Listings which are highlighted in pink on your screen are movies. The listings highlighted in green are sporting events. And a listing with a black box in front of it is a best bet, according to TV Guide. You can also select the basic cable or premium cable links above the program screen to skip directly to those shows that are offered on your basic or premium cable service. Selecting the Customize option at the top of the TV Guide online screen lets you create your own customized program guide screens featuring only the channels that you select for your favorite types of shows, such as action-adventure programs, movies, or comedies. Select the Explore TV main screen from WebTV's Explore main menu, and you can take a look at 2 other on-screen program guides that you might also want to check out. Click TV, also accessible from Jump City at 9840, is an on-screen TV listing service that we think is even easier to use than the TV Guide Online. And like TV Guide Online, Click TV also lets you customize the program listings that you display on your TV to select just the kinds of programs that you like to watch. Another TV program guide service called GIST is accessible from WebTV's Explore TV screen or from Jump City at Jump 9841. GIST lets you quickly select a program listing based on your time zone, and like both TV Guide Online and Click TV, you can customize your on-screen program guides according to the programs that you like to watch and the times that you like to watch them. We think you'll have lots of fun using the thousands of TV-related websites out there on the web to help you get more from the TV shows, news programs, and sporting events that you like to watch on TV. And WebTV is a natural for letting you pull up these internet attractions while you're watching TV. And when you find an interesting TV-related site on WebTV, remember, save it to your favorites page on WebTV. The internet has many educational, fascinating, and fun sites for your children, and WebTV makes it easy for them to safely access the web's best children's sites. And as your children grow older, the skills required to find, use, and communicate information on the internet will become increasingly important for helping your child get ahead in school and in the workplace of the future. Now let's take a look at a handful of the many great sites available for your children on WebTV. KidsCom at Jump 2436 is a site that is especially well suited for younger children. From the main screen on KidsCom, click on the link on the upper right-hand corner to enter the main section of this site. KidsCom has all kinds of interesting, colorful, and educational features for young children. There are also online chat areas on this site that are supervised by responsible adults 24 hours a day. KidsCom also has an area where your kids can contribute their own comments and opinions and trade email with other young pen pals from around the world. You can reach KidsCom on Jump City at Jump 2436. Yahooligans at Jump 5852 is a big web directory site created by the same folks that run the popular Yahoo web directory. Yahooligans features hundreds of educational and fun web links for kids, including links to homework help, geography, science sites, news, and games selected especially for kids between 7 and 12 years of age. Your kids can also search Yahooligans for sites by entering keywords for the sites of interest to them. You can reach Yahooligans at Jump 5852. If your children like to write stories, they'll love KidPub, accessible from Jump City at Jump 2230. KidPub is a great example of how the internet can be used for self-publishing by old and young people alike. The KidPub site contains over 16,000 stories and pictures that have been sent in from children all around the world. Your children can follow the simple on-screen instructions to publish their own stories and pictures on KidPub as well. You can reach KidPub from Jump City at 2230. And if you're a parent, you know just about every kid loves dinosaurs. At the Dinosaur Society website, accessible from Jump City Jump 5878, you'll find a great web starting point for all kinds of interesting dinosaur stuff for your children. There's an extensive art gallery of dinosaur paintings, drawings, and sculpture, along with informative descriptions of each type of dinosaur, plus information on where, when, and how they lived. And many feature articles on dinosaurs and recent dinosaur discoveries, a link to dinosaurs in the news, and links to many available dinosaur-related sites all over the web. You can reach the Dinosaur Society from Jump City at Jump 5878. And one of the Internet's very best science education sites is Discovery Channel Online, accessible from Jump City at Jump 3694. This is one of the Internet's most popular sites, and we think you'll find it every bit as interesting as its cable channel companion, the Discovery Channel. In fact, Discovery Channel Online has been designed to work right alongside the TV program that you see on the Discovery Channel. and it has many interesting editorial features on science, history, technology, and nature. It's a fascinating site for both parents and children with its extensive range of informative articles, photos, and illustrations. You can reach Discovery Channel online from Jump City at Jump 3694. And here's a nice educational site that is especially useful for students of all ages. Cool School Tools at Jump 2477. This is one of the Internet's largest subject indexes for hundreds of fascinating education-related net resources covering virtually every educational subject, from general encyclopedias on the web to sites on religion, language, science, technology, history, and literature. Clicking on any of these site links will take you directly to one of these carefully selected sites where you'll usually find extensive and in-depth information available direct from knowledgeable experts on a particular educational topic. You can reach Cool School Tools from Jump City at Jump 2477. And remember, when you visit any of these sites and you find them interesting, save them to your favorites page on WebTV. If you'd like to use the Internet to get stock quotes or other investment information, or if you'd even like to use the Internet to find a new job, there are some useful free resources available to you. For instant stock quotes and the latest stock market news, one of the web's most useful sites is CNN-FN at Jump 6531. This companion website to CNN's Financial News Network is a great site to pull up on WebTV while you're watching CNN-FN on cable. You can use CNN-FN to get free 20-minute delayed stock quotes just by entering a stock ticker symbol. Plus, there's U.S. and international market news, special investing features, additional features on investing, mutual funds, financial planning, and running a small business. You can reach CNN-FN from Jump City at Jump 6531. If you'd like a more in-depth look at recent business news stories and features, check out Business Week online at Jump 5717. Each issue of Business Week magazine is published here online every week. And Business Week also produces a daily online news update that they publish especially for this site. This comprehensive and extremely well-executed site also includes a searchable archive of the full text of previous issues of Business Week. And you can also receive a free online newsletter in your WebTV electronic mailbox just by filling out a simple form on this site. You can reach Business Week from Jump City at Jump 5717. Forbes magazine, accessible from Jump City at Jump 5854, is another well-done business news site. Like Business Week, the editors at Forbes also produce online business and technology news features that they publish exclusively on this site every day. You can also read the full text of the print versions of Forbes magazine, which is also published here online. And you can search this site by the keywords of the companies or industries that you'd like to follow and view a listing of previously archived stories that have appeared previously on this site. You can reach the Forbes site from Jump City at Jump 5854. If you're an investor, the Internet is a tremendous information resource. There are hundreds of sites from which to choose where you can get stock quotes, in-depth information on companies, investor newsletters, and there are even stock trading sites where you can buy and sell stocks online. We'll cover just a few of the many useful sites out there to help you track your investments. If you're a mutual fund investor, Mutual Fund Interactive, accessible from Jump City at Jump 0225, is an excellent starting point on the Internet. MFI features online columns written by mutual fund managers and investment analysts, a useful online tutorial if you'd like to learn more about investing in mutual funds, as well as an expert's corner with more in-depth information features. This site also has a handy index that can link you instantly to the websites of virtually every available mutual fund company, plus an online forum where you can exchange advice or ask questions of other web users on such mutual fund-related topics as financial planning and retirement. There is also a handy glossary of mutual fund-related terms and links to current mutual fund quotes. You can reach Mutual Funds Interactive from Jump City at Jump 0225. The Internet also has a number of sites where, for additional monthly fees, you can get more detailed investment research information. These sites include Wall Street City at Jump 6895 and Hoover's at Jump 5721. Both of these sites offer a certain amount of limited information for free, such as stock quotes and stock charts covering recent price performance, and both sites also post a daily business and investor news update. These kinds of sites also have free trial offers so that you can try them for a limited time before you decide to subscribe. One of the very best free information resources available on the Internet for investors is the Edgar site. It's produced by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, and it is accessible from Jump City at Jump 6588. The Edgar site was developed by the SEC to provide online information on every one of more than 17,000 publicly traded companies in the United States. And on this site, you can get the full text of all financial disclosure documents that publicly traded companies are required by law to file with the SEC. Simply click on the Edgar database link from this site's homepage and then search the Edgar database link, and then you can do a quick forms lookup by entering a company's name and the date range for the documents that you'd like to access. You can then select from all available financial documents filed by that company with the SEC. These documents are very useful when you're checking out a new company that you're thinking about investing in, because these reports will give you a good background on the company, its management, its operations, and its financial history. This is the kind of information that only a few years ago used to be available only to top investment analysts at a very high price. And now it's available free on the Internet to you, so that's quite a bargain. You can reach the Securities and Exchange Commission's Edgar site from Jump City at Jump 6588. In addition to investment sites, the Internet has also become a popular place to look for a new job. A number of websites, such as Career Web at Jump 3617 and the Monster Board at Jump 2748, have become quite popular with Internet users who can now tap the Internet to look for a career change. On both of these databases, you can search for jobs in your area by geographic location, the type of position you're looking for by keyword, to come up with a listing of jobs in the database that meet your criteria. Now, after you've selected job opportunities that are of interest to you, you can also send your complete resume by WebTV email to the employer's email address, or you can send it direct through these services. Both Career Web and the Monster Board have helpful advice on writing and improving your resume. They have job hunting tips and even links to find out more about a prospective employer on the Internet. You can reach Career Web from Jump City at Jump 3617 and the Monster Board at Jump 2748. You can also use your WebTV to search and shop for all kinds of products and services online. The number of companies now selling merchandise online is literally exploding all over the Internet, and you can safely purchase these products and services on your WebTV. Just what can you buy through WebTV and the Internet? Well, the range of items sold by companies on the Internet is almost unlimited. On sites like reservations.com at Jump 5884, you can buy airline tickets and make hotel and rental car reservations. You can also order clothing from well-known companies like LL Bean at Jump 9656, J. Crew at Jump 9657, and Eddie Bauer at Jump 9662. You can send flowers to anyone in the country by ordering from PC Flowers and Gifts at Jump 4516. And believe it or not, you can even buy a car online from companies like DealerNet at Jump 0009 or Auto Bytel at Jump 9821. It's quite safe to order products online because many sites use what's called secure transaction technology to encrypt or scramble the credit information that you send out over the Internet. We can certainly understand if you might be a little concerned, though, when you're buying something online for the first time. So our advice is to start by making a small initial purchase of an item that you're pretty familiar with, like a book or a music CD from some of the Internet's major online purchasing sites. Amazon.com for books, for example, or CD Now for CDs. Amazon.com, accessible from Jump City at Jump 5726, is the web's largest online bookseller, and it's also a convenient, fast way to order books without having to drive to the mall or visit your local bookstore. Amazon.com has a massive database selection of more than 2.5 million book titles, and you can keyword search for books by title or author or browse Amazon's extensive subject category as well. You can also read Amazon.com's daily reviews of recommended new titles. But one of the features that we really like about this is the section where people who've already read the book that you're thinking about buying have posted their comments and opinions of that book. You can reach Amazon.com from Jump City at Jump 5726. Another easy-to-use site for you to try buying something on WebTV is CD Now. It's accessible from Jump City at Jump 5729. CD Now was one of the first companies to sell anything on the Internet, and with one of the largest collections of music CDs anywhere, they are still one of the Internet's best places to buy your music CDs. On CD Now, you can use keywords to search for the album title, the band, or the performer that you're looking for. Once you do this, you get an entire listing of all the albums produced by the artist that you're interested in, plus listings of individual songs available on each album. An added feature on CD Now that works especially well with WebTV is CD Now's Music Demo feature, where you can actually hear sound clips and music samples from the selected albums on your own WebTV. Once you've made your selections, you can order your CDs with CD Now's secure ordering feature. CD Now is another great site that'll help you build your confidence in making your first purchases online using your WebTV. You can reach CD Now at jump 5729. In the previous section of our video, we covered some of the web's interesting and most useful sites, but there is a whole lot more out there for you to explore. And part of what makes the internet so much fun to use and valuable to you is that you can use the internet to find the things that meet your personal interest. The fact is, it's almost certain that you can find information out there on the internet on almost anything that you are interested in, from news to things to buy, to medical information, places to visit, info on your favorite authors, and your own special hobbies and interests. Although you're certainly welcome to explore the websites that WebTV has selected for you in the WebTV Explorer section we've just covered, or the sites available from our own Jump City site of your WebTV, with WebTV you also have the tools available to search for anything that you are interested in. And that's available on the entire internet, not just the features that have been pre-selected for you, either by us or by WebTV. You can use large web directories like Yahoo, accessible from Jump City at jump 0043, to search this popular site's massive categories of literally hundreds of thousands of websites, organized by hundreds of separate topics. Or you can search the entire internet by using the popular internet search engines such as Alta Vista at jump 8025 to find any website that contains the keywords or the phrases that you're searching for on that site. We'll show you how to use both of these important internet features so that you can use the internet as an information tool to search for just what you are looking for. Yahoo, accessible from Jump City at jump 0043, is a very popular site on the internet featuring hundreds of thousands of websites which Yahoo has organized by subject. This makes it much easier for you to pinpoint sites in areas of interest to you. Think of Yahoo as the web's biggest on-screen directory, with links to many, many websites. Yahoo is easy and fun to use, and you could spend days clicking through its many on-screen categories to find websites that are of interest to you. Starting from Yahoo's main screen, you can click on any of the general links shown here, which start from general topics, which are then further organized into more and more specific subtopics as you move further down within Yahoo's on-screen menus. Links to websites featured on Yahoo that have the little sunglass icon next to it, like the one shown here, tell you that a site is a recommended one by Yahoo. You can also enter keywords or phrases to search all of Yahoo to find sites matching the keywords that you've entered. By highlighting the Search Only button, you can limit your search to just the specific subject area on Yahoo that you are currently viewing. We think you should definitely save Yahoo to your favorites page if you haven't already done so, because when you're searching for something on a topic that interests you, Yahoo's a good first place to look. You can access Yahoo at any time from Jump City at jump 0043 or by pressing the Options key on your WebTV keyboard or remote and then selecting the Go To button on screen. Then enter Yahoo in the pop-up window and press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. But remember, the easiest way to access Yahoo is to save it to your favorites list by pressing the Save key and go back to it on your WebTV personal favorites list. When it comes to keyword searching on the internet, you can find pretty much anything you're looking for by using keywords or phrases into WebTV's search feature. WebTV's search feature uses what's called a search engine, which is a program that automatically compiles indexes of the hundreds of thousands of websites on the internet and organizes them in such a way that all you have to do is simply enter keywords or phrases to get a list of links to websites that contain those keywords or phrases that you are looking for. We'll start off by showing you WebTV's search feature, and then we'll show you a couple of the internet's top web search engines that you can also use on your WebTV. From WebTV's homepage, use the arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to select the search option at the top of your screen. Then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. Now you'll see WebTV's main search screen. From this search screen, you can enter a word or phrase which describes what you are looking for. It's always a good idea not to be too general when you're entering a keyword to search. For example, if you're a baseball fan but you're looking to find information on your favorite team, like the Baltimore Orioles, for example, you're much better entering the phrase Baltimore Orioles instead of just the single word baseball, because searching by the word baseball is going to bring up a much larger list of sites which may cover things about baseball that you're not at all interested in, like baseball cards, caps, or Japanese baseball sites that would also contain the word baseball. To begin a search on WebTV's search screen, enter a keyword or phrase and then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. You'll then see a listing of the websites which contain that keyword or phrase that you've entered, plus a little bit of information taken from the site which tell you a little bit more about the information that is contained on that site. Take a minute and scroll down the page on your screen to check to see which sites might contain the information that you are looking for. From here, you can click on any listing to link directly over to it from this screen. If your search has brought up more links than can fit on one screen, well, you just scroll to the bottom of the page to click on the More Results button to see the next section of links. There are at least a half dozen major search engines available on the Internet, and which one you select is really a matter of which one works best for you. We suggest you try out a few search engines like Digital's Alta Vista site at jump 8025, Lycos at jump 0001, or InfoSeek at jump 6682, all accessible from Jump City. Try entering a few keywords and keep in mind that unlike WebTV's search feature, on these search engine sites, you often have to put your keywords or phrases inside of quotation marks before you enter them. And when you find interesting sites as a result of your Internet searches, don't forget you can save those sites on your own personal favorites page on WebTV. Now let's cover two of the Internet's other key features: online discussion news groups and chat rooms, where you can communicate online with millions of other people on the Internet with your WebTV. We've shown you how WebTV lets you tap into all the rich information resources that the Internet's World Wide Web has to offer. But an equally important way to use the Internet is to use it to communicate online with millions of other net users on almost any topic you can imagine. In this way, you can look at the Internet as a vast online community of over 40 million users who communicate with each other in a variety of ways. And you can join this community with your WebTV. We've already shown you how to use an important communications feature on the Internet, electronic mail, but there are also other important Internet communication features that you can use for talking with other people online. Internet news groups, also called Usenet news groups, are online bulletin boards available to everyone on the Internet. There are more than 20,000 online Internet news groups. Each news group is devoted to a specific topic or special interest. There are news groups for antique car collectors, news groups for fans of certain TV shows, and there are also news groups for people who like to discuss current events, groups for people who like to fly kites, make musical instruments, or who are involved with just about any hobby or special interest you can imagine. On a more serious note, there are news groups where people share their experiences in dealing with particular medical conditions or disease. News groups operate just like online bulletin boards, where you can scan, read, and post text messages which are stored under specific newsgroup topics. Another key net communications feature are the Internet's chat features, more commonly known as chat rooms, sometimes called IRC, or Internet Relay Chat. They're live conversations that happen in real time, sort of like live party line telephone conversations. You can only take part in chat sessions with other users when both you and the other person are connected to the Internet at the same time. In a way, it can be either convenient or inconvenient, depending on the time you choose to go into that chat room. Chat rooms tend to be unstructured and disorganized, which can make it hard to understand the flow of many of the conversations that are happening all at the same time. You can tap into a variety of chat rooms available on most any subject you can think of, but the discussions that go on in chat rooms are more informal and some might say more disorganized than discussions that occur on Internet news groups. If you're a parent, we'd like to give you a word of warning here. There are many news groups and chat rooms that contain sexually oriented conversations, so you should never let your child use news groups and chat rooms if you are not around to watch them. It's also a good idea, if you haven't done so already, to activate the Surf Watch feature on your WebTV to give you a better chance of blocking access to this sexually explicit material. Bearing this advice in mind, we think you'll find newsgroups to be a wonderful information resource. Internet newsgroups, also called Usenet newsgroups, are one of the Internet's best-kept secrets. Newsgroups were one of the first features created on the Internet many years ago, and they're still one of the Internet's best information sources because they tap the vast collected wisdom, knowledge, and experience of millions of Internet users who take part in these online discussion groups. Newsgroups have names that begin with the phrase alt dot, rec dot, or talk dot, for example. And individual newsgroup names can give you a general idea of the topics they cover. Newsgroups in the alt dot category are generally more freewheeling and less organized than are other newsgroups. Newsgroups in the rec dot category cover recreational or hobby or special interest topics. Often a single topic may be covered by more than one related newsgroup, and more newsgroups are sometimes added to popular topics to cover a more specific aspect of the main topic. There are several ways that you can access Internet newsgroups on WebTV, but the easiest way is to access newsgroups from WebTV's Community option. From WebTV's homepage, use your arrow keys to select the Community option along the left-hand sidebar here and press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to go there. On the next screen, Internet newsgroups available on the WebTV service are featured under WebTV's Discuss option on this WebTV Community screen. Use your arrow keys to select the Discuss or Bulletin Board Postings heading. Then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. From the WebTV Featured Discussion screen, you can check out the handful of newsgroups WebTV has selected by topic, shown here in the middle of the screen, or you can enter a keyword or phrase to search for newsgroups, which match the keywords that you've entered in the search window at the bottom of the screen. Let's try that right now. Use your arrow keys to highlight the long horizontal search window at the bottom of the screen. And we'll type in a simple keyword for our example. Type in the word kites, then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. You'll now see a list of newsgroups whose names contain the keyword kites. In our case, we have found the very popular newsgroup called rec.kites, with all kinds of information related to kites and kite flying. Click on the rec.kites newsgroup to bring up the first screen of messages posted to the rec.kites newsgroup, and some other handy on-screen features. The numbers you see at the upper and lower right-hand side of your screen show you the range of the number of newsgroup messages that are contained in the newsgroup you are currently viewing. Newsgroups on WebTV are sorted by the date the message was posted to WebTV, from the most recently posted messages all the way back to messages which have been posted days, in some cases even weeks ago. You can press the arrow key to the right of the message range number to go to the next page of messages. Selecting the plus sign indicator takes you to the next page of newsgroup messages, and pressing the minus key, shown at left, will take you back to the previous page of newsgroup postings. A page of newsgroup messages or postings contains the subject of the posting, which is the subject typed in by the sender of the message, in blue. And below it, you'll also see the name of the person who sent the message and the date that it was posted to the newsgroup. Since anyone can participate in a newsgroup, you'll often see replies to a newsgroup message below the original message. You can spot these replies because they have an RE, or reply indicator, which comes before the posting subject. A single newsgroup message and its ongoing listings of replies is called a thread in Internet jargon, and these newsgroup threads can continue for days, weeks, even months, as one person after another contributes comments to the ongoing newsgroup conversation. Use your scroll up and scroll down keys on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to scroll and scan the list of newsgroup subject headings until you find a posting or a thread that appears to be of interest to you. To read a newsgroup posting, simply highlight it with the arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or remote, and then press Return on the WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. You'll now see the main message of the newsgroup posting. From here, you can read the message that the newsgroup participant has posted to the newsgroup, and when you are done reading, you can just press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to read the text of the next message in the newsgroup. Or you can select the previous option along the left-hand WebTV sidebar to go to the previous message. You can also select the group option on the left-hand sidebar or press the back key on your WebTV keyboard or remote to go back to the top screen of the newsgroup messages that are featured in that newsgroup. There are a number of options you can use when you're reading individual newsgroup messages. If you'd like to communicate directly with the person who posted the message by email, highlight and select the Mail To option along the left-hand sidebar. You'll then see the familiar WebTV's standard email window, which we covered in the previous portion of this video, where you can enter an email message and send it automatically to the person who made the original posting. Highlighting and selecting the Respond option along the left-hand side of your screen will allow you to post your own comments in response to the newsgroup's discussion thread. Once again, the Mail To option will send a private email message from you directly to the person who posted the newsgroup message, and your mailed reply can only be read by that person. The Respond option, though, will post a public message directly to the newsgroup where anyone viewing the newsgroup can read it. Please keep in mind that whenever you post a message to an Internet newsgroup, you'll be broadcasting it to thousands and thousands of Internet users. So be careful about saying anything that is abusive or inappropriate or not relevant to the post in that newsgroup. You can enter the subject of your message, whether it's a question or a comment, and then press Return on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to immediately send or post your message to the newsgroup that you're currently viewing. And remember, you can press the Save key on your WebTV keyboard or select the Save option after pressing the Option key on your WebTV remote to save any interesting newsgroup message postings that you find while reading Internet newsgroups. Now, press the Back key on your WebTV keyboard or your WebTV remote to return to WebTV's featured discussion screen, and we'll show you another way that you can search for newsgroups. Highlighting and selecting the All Groups option along the left-hand side of your WebTV featured discussion screen gives you a listing of all Internet newsgroups available. You can select any of these links to see the individual newsgroups that are contained below these categories. This is a fun way to get acquainted with the vast range of topics that are covered by the newsgroups available on the Internet. Active participants on newsgroups have often banded together to write frequently asked questions, or FAQ files, for many Internet newsgroups. These FAQs are wonderful Internet information resources because, in addition to answering all the questions that first-time users usually ask, they also serve as good short tutorials or instruction guides to a newsgroup topic. And before you post a question to a newsgroup, it's always a good idea to read the FAQ file first to see if your question has already been answered. This also saves you the embarrassment of asking a question on a newsgroup that's already been asked many times before. And you can get a listing of all the FAQ files available for Internet newsgroups through Jump City at Jump 0006. This site, maintained by Internet volunteers at MIT, features all the most recently updated FAQ files for literally hundreds of newsgroups organized by newsgroup type. FAQ files are also posted to a newsgroup and are identified by the letters FAQ in the subject line of the newsgroup posting. If you'd like more information on the content of a newsgroup, you can jump to the MIT site and check to see if a FAQ is available for the newsgroup that you're interested in. You can also search for and access newsgroups on Jump City, where we've reviewed more than 2,300 of the Internet's most popular newsgroups. You can spot newsgroups on Jump City when you see the Net Newsgroup icon, and you can reach a newsgroup on Jump City by clicking on the Jump icon next to the newsgroup listing. Here's another useful way to get the most out of Internet newsgroups. Deja News, accessible from Jump City at Jump 2650. It's a powerful service that allows you to search the full text of all the messages contained in net newsgroups by keywords or phrases. Deja News is a handy way to use Internet newsgroups as an information research tool because you can keyword search and find messages relating to the subject of interest to you, which you might not find just by accessing a single newsgroup on the topic. Entering the keyword kites, for example, in the Deja News search window, you get all kinds of references to kites in newsgroups, other than the rec.kites newsgroup, such as messages relating to books about kites in the rec.arts.books newsgroup. A handy feature you can use while reading newsgroup messages in Deja News can be found by clicking the View thread icon, which is a handy way to view an entire discussion thread or conversation of a newsgroup discussion. You can also enter a phrase in the Deja News search window by enclosing a phrase within quotes in that Deja News search window to search by a specific phrase or two or more keywords. This is a handy way to narrow down the list of your search results to those newsgroup messages that most closely match what it is that you hope to find. Deja News also maintains an archive of all newsgroup messages posted to all Internet newsgroups over the past few years. This is a very useful way of finding information stored away on the Internet, and it's especially useful to find information on more obscure or hard-to-find subjects. We've shown you pretty much all the main ways to get access to newsgroups using WebTV, and we encourage you to spend time using newsgroups because they're fabulous information resources. Here's one last pointer for accessing newsgroups. If you know the exact name of the newsgroup that you'd like to go to, press the Go To key on your WebTV keyboard or the on-screen Go To button after pressing the Options key on your WebTV remote, and you can reach any Internet newsgroup on WebTV by typing in the word News, then a colon, and then the name of the Internet newsgroup you want to reach. Then press the Return key on the WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to go directly to that newsgroup. Now let's take a look at chat features and services that are available on WebTV. With WebTV's Internet chat feature, you can get involved in informal on-screen conversations with other Internet users and any one of thousands of chat rooms operating all over the Internet, as long as all of you are online at the same time. You can enter chat rooms that have been selected and organized for you on the WebTV service, or if you know the name of the chat server, you can use what's known on the Internet as IRC, or Internet Relay Chat, on WebTV. Before we show you how to use WebTV's chat feature, we'd like to give you a warning about Internet chat. There are thousands and thousands of chat rooms accessible on the Internet, and some of these chat rooms are described as being places where participants can go to exchange sexually related comments. And other chat rooms may not initially appear to be adult-oriented, but the participants may begin to engage in sexually oriented discussions at any time. Conversations that go on in chat rooms change on a minute-by-minute basis, so comments made by the participants on chat rooms, which at first may appear to be quite innocent, can quickly degrade into the type of conversations you wouldn't want your children to see. For this reason, if you're a parent of small children, we strongly recommend that you not let your child use any chat room without your direct supervision. To access chat features on WebTV, starting from the WebTV main screen, use the arrow keys on your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote to select the Community option on the left-hand side of WebTV's main screen. Then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. Next, select the Chat icon from the next screen to enter WebTV's main chat feature. From here, you can enter one of the handful of chat rooms that WebTV features on this screen. WebTV has also included another service called Talk City, where you can enter dozens of chat rooms on a variety of topics. Talk City, a chat service that's been specially developed to work well with WebTV, has a variety of chat rooms of interest to all ages and all interests. They have chat rooms for parents, sports fans, TV watchers, and car buffs, and they also feature special chat events throughout the day. To enter any chat session on WebTV or Talk City, select a chat room topic with your WebTV keyboard or WebTV remote's arrow keys, and then press the Return key on the keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote. You'll then be taken directly to the chat room where you'll see a chat session in progress. Every chat participant is identified by their email address or their chat room names, along with a message that they've just entered. You can see these chat sessions as they appear on your WebTV screen. If you'd like to jump right in and start chatting, WebTV makes it easy. Just use your arrow keys to highlight the horizontal chat dialog box at the bottom of the screen, type in a short message, and then, when you're finished typing in your message, use your keyboard or WebTV remote's arrow keys to highlight the Send button to the right side of the chat dialog box, then press the Return key on your WebTV keyboard or the Center key on your WebTV remote to immediately send your chat message to the chat room. If you'd like to send a private message to another chat room participant, select the Whisper command along the left-hand side of your screen, and then check off the name of the chat room participant that you'd like to send the private message to. If you'd like to go to another chat room, select the Rooms command at the top of the left-hand side of your screen to see a list of available chat rooms on the chat service that you are currently accessing. In the previous sections of this video, we've shown you all the websites and other places that you can visit on the Internet. Now we'll tell you a little bit more about how you and your whole family can actually become part of the Internet using your WebTV. It's easy to create your own website using WebTV. In fact, thousands of WebTV users have already created their own web pages through free services, such as GeoCities at Jump 0246. Here you can get free storage and other tools that you need to create your own Internet website. Another service which has been created especially for WebTV users, called Energy, accessible from Jump City at Jump 0245, is an inexpensive service that also provides you with some do-it-yourself on-screen tools and graphics that you can use to put together a web page that matches your personality and tells the world a little bit more about yourself and your family. And once you've created your own web page, you can link it to a number of web rings, which are also accessible on WebTV, such as the optimized web ring, also accessible from Jump City at Jump 9860. Web rings are large collections of individual personal web pages created by people just like you. You can spend many fascinating hours viewing these homegrown web pages, which express the unique individual personalities and special interests of the growing number of WebTV users just like you. These web pages often contain interesting stories, pictures, links to other sites, as well as many handy tips to help you create your web page on WebTV. These web rings also contain links to interesting graphics, music, and audio files that you can copy and use on your own web page, so that you too can join the Internet publishing revolution. We encourage you to look into creating your own web page on WebTV. It's easy and fun, and it puts you in touch with other Internet users all over the world who will be visiting your website. And you'll be surprised at the amount of email comments you receive from these other Internet users. Well, we've come to the end of this video. We hope you've enjoyed watching it, and we also hope that it's helped you get more out of using your WebTV and the Internet. We know that we've covered a lot of material here, so by all means, don't be afraid to rewind this video to go back again to the areas that are of interest to you. And keep this video handy so that you can let your friends and family members use it to help them get more from using WebTV and the Internet too. And be sure to check Jump City on WebTV frequently for news of updates, new editions of our guidebooks, what's on the web and what's on the Internet, and new products and services for helping you get the most from using WebTV and the Internet. And let us know how you like this video. Send us your questions or comments by WebTV email. We'd love to hear from you. You can send us an email message at mail@jumpcity.com. And we'll be seeing you on the Internet.